Welcome to Krafting Kitty. My name is Erin. It is Friday, which means it's normally my day for Fridays with Fred. We're going to talk about Fridays with Fred, but we're also going to talk about my Thursday rotating themed project. And we also need to talk about my stitch marker of the day from Miss Ellie at Ellie's Crafts and More. Now, I am combining because I really did want to talk about my projects yesterday, and life was lifing and it didn't happen. And then I was laughing when I started recording here because this is take 3, because the first time I started talking I realized I had gum in my mouth because my ear had been popping, and I was like, that's gross, Erin, just spit it out and start over. So I did. And then right after I finished the whole introduction, suddenly in take 2 my camera started flashing. I was running out of battery, so I was like, oh geez Louise. So now we're on take 3. That's why I was a little bit giggly. Anyway, let's go. I forget now which take. Did I say Ellie's Crafts and More? That's where this stitch marker set is from. She is fantabulous. This is one of her Halloween sets. I got the Hello Kitty set. She used really cute she is so genius in this. Used Hello Kitty napkins to wrap it. These are not, there's no order, so I'm just randomly grabbing. And oh, this is hilarious. Oh, this is cute. So, this is a Hello Kitty enameled charm again. It is Hello Kitty dressed in a skeleton costume. And she has a skeleton mask, except it's slightly askew on her face. So, here you go. That is so spooky and Hello Kitty. It is awesome. Absolutely perfect for this Halloween Hello Kitty. Oh dear, I dropped my stitch marker thingy holder. Very perfect for this. I love it. Okay, let's get this on here. Very beautiful. Thank you, Ellie. I love it. I just was checking. I thought my camera was flashing at me. I think I just saw shine off of the metal there for a moment. Okay. First, let's do this chronologically. No, let's actually go back. I totally forgot with my whole discombobulation on Wednesday, Rachel did share pictures of her Sophie's Universe, the beautiful pink one, and I now have updated pictures of, I believe, Antoinette's Sophie, Universe in Bloom. Universe in Bloom. Did I say Sophie? So I will be sure to share those next week. I'm not going to share them here. But I did go and check the materials. As far as I can tell, there will be 12 sections of Sophie. She just released number 8. So, in theory, one more month of Sophie. I keep saying Sophie. One more month of Universe in Bloom. But in the past, there was 1 week she released 2 at a time. So I don't know. We'll see. What do I have here? Okay. So, for Thursdays, I've been kind of going through a group of themed projects I've been making. And I've kind of been just going through them. But when something of significance happens, I pull it out of its queue and bring it forward. So I've had to do that with 3 projects. So the next 3 weeks, we are going to have projects with significant developments. The first one is my holiday socks. The kiddos last year wanted me to make holiday socks. They really loved it, so we're doing it again this year. This year, I am making socks from this book, Socktopus by Alice Yu. It's Alice, A-L-I-C-E. I say you. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it correctly. Y-U. I finished Brian's. You've seen that before. I had been working on Bingo. And this might tell you what my significant development is. I have 2 socks. Now, she had told me she wanted red heels, toes, and cuffs. You may notice on the first one, I accidentally got into the groove and forgot to change for the heel. And then I got into the groove again and forgot to change for the toe until the very end. Now, she loves it. Mommy knows Mommy messed up, but that's okay. She is excited. Here they are. I was going to put them on the sock blockers, and I didn't. This pattern is, I want to say Kandahar. For Brian, I made just the first pattern, which is basically her vanilla one. Yep, this is Kandahar. And it's a really cool pattern. I quite like it. Maybe it's because it's on such a small scale. Or it's probably because it's not on an actual foot. I was looking at it saying, mine does not look like hers. But no, it does. On her foot, you can see this kind of center spike better. Yeah, when I do it like that, you can. Anyway, so that is a lacy cabled pattern. And in the, I was going to show you the book, and then I didn't even do it. I set it to the side because I got distracted by seeing that center seam. Bag on my lap. So there's Kandahar. There is the sock. And then here it is on her foot. And I don't know, can you see? No? There you go. Anyway, it was a lot of fun. It's a pretty, to me, it was kind of an easy pattern, but it was, the charts were a little difficult for me because normally I'm used to reading a chart from left to right, but she put the center of the pattern in the center, so you had to read from the middle to the right and then start over from the left and read over. I found that very disjointing. I didn't like that at all. Except when, that's when you did the leg. Once you got to the instep and then the toe decrease, it was, you just read it across. However, on the first sock, I messed it up because I thought you had to go from the center over. And that made me grumpy. But that's okay. They are beautiful. They are sparkly. She loves them. That's all that matters. This I used West Yorkshire Spinners Signature Sparkle. And the colorway is like Fairy Lights. Yep, Fairy Lights. I got this at my LYS. So I have two of these because I took Bingo to the LYS with me and she picked this out. And then for Mother's Day, I think, or maybe it was my birthday. It took me a really long time to make Brian's socks, so I think it must have been Mother's Day. Brian took the kiddos to the LYS to pick out the yarn for the Christmas socks, and she picked out the same color a second time. So my feet are very small. From a 100-gram hank of yarn, I could normally get a pair of socks for the kiddos and a pair of socks for me. For Brian, I need just over 100 grams to get a sock for his foot. But that is okay. Now we know. Okay, why did I put this away? Because I'm not done talking about socks. Second, you know, Erin, what do you do now? You got more socks. It's Christmas is coming. I know. I don't think I'm going to have my own socks done. But we'll see. Because Chomps' socks are coming along much more quickly. I'm very pleased. We chose this one for him. It's the third pattern in the book. V-Junkie, which was inspired by True Blood. If you're familiar with that book series or the HBO series. He wanted it because he thought it looked like dragon scales, and I agree. So, there it is in the book. There's a pic. Oh, my hand. Okay, that's not going to work. I have begun working on his socks. I am on the final row, or no, I'm sorry, not the final row. The final pattern repeat of the cuffs, or leg portion. Yeah, leg portion of his socks. And I think with the solid color, he of course chose red. I do know this is from Leading Men Dyers. See if I can tease this out without wrecking it. I can. Leading Men Fiber Arts. The colorway is Cardinal Sin. Of course, he just wanted it because it was red. Bright, bright red. And here is his sock so far. And he wanted to use the gray from Brian's sock as his heel toe cuff. So the cuff was only 3 rows. So we'll see. And there you go. So like I said, I am nearly done with his leg portion. And then to me, the foot and toe go pretty quickly. So I have faith that we will get this done. I can put Bingo's socks up on the sock blockers when I'm done here. And then I will have... Oh, I have to take the stitch markers off of Brian's socks still. And then I have 3 sets of sock blockers there, so no room for my socks. Actually, there's a small, medium, large. Brian's socks are too large for the large. I kind of feel like the medium might be a little too large for mine, and the small might be too large for the kiddos. We'll see. We'll see. I did say in Facebook and in some videos and in my community post, if you have made any socks and wanted to share them, I'd be happy to share them. And this is especially why it was very important for me to make sure I include this week, because a few of you have, and I'm so proud to share them. First, we have Miss Antoinette. She has sent me 4 socks, and she said, "Oh, you're talking my language, Erin. I've made like 25 socks this year." And she was worried about inundating me. I told her to send what she wanted. I'm happy to share. So here are 4 beautiful socks that the talented Miss Antoinette has produced this year. I love them all. And that's roughly 2 weeks on a pair of socks. And I know that you work on other projects. You are a very talented sock lady. I am amazed by the people who can do, like, I'd be amazed if you could do 12 pairs of socks a year. I know Shannon did 3-day socks. That's crazy, Shannon from Another Yarn. I think it was 3-day, or was it 2-day? It was during that challenge. And it was like a week, and she made 1 pair of socks and then started a 2nd pair of socks. Or maybe she got 1 sock out of the 2nd pair done. I'm not sure she completed 2 pairs of socks in the 1 week. But it wouldn't surprise me if she did. Yeah, people who produce socks that quickly astonish me. You are amazing, and they're beautiful. I love them so much. We also have Miss Karen. This is her first pair of knitted socks. It is glorious. She used Premier Fruits. She used the orange color, which is the colorway that Bingo also requested for Bingo's very first pair of socks that I made for her. The very first pair of socks I made was for myself. I think I made 2 pairs for myself, and then I got brave enough to make for Chomps, because Chomps wanted strawberry socks. And at first he wanted, like, colorwork strawberries, and I was like, how about Premier Fruit strawberries? And he fell in love with it. So then I had to get Bingo, and she picked orange. So there you go. They are fantastic. I know she struggled a bit on the second one, but you overcame it and you won, and you have glorious socks as a result. We also have Miss Megan. These are so cute. Are those bats on the leg of the sock? They're adorable. So Megan did say that she intended them for herself, but they decided to fit her daughter. Have we not all been there? And I want to say thank goodness they fit your daughter, because those are adorable, and I am so glad someone is able to use them. They're amazing. I love them. Cutest thing ever. We also have Miss Lucy. Miss Lucy, Lucy's Crochet Spot, is making crochet socks. Wow. She told me, Actually, I have it up here on Facebook right now. Crochet, Yarn Inspirations, Crochet Granny Socks. That is the pattern she's using. They look really cute. They look like they're color worked as well. Maybe she's alternating. Are you alternating each row? Please tell me you're carrying that yarn up, because no thank you on the ends. The bat socks are orange and black. They are gorgeous. I love them. And then, as I said, Karen used the Premier Socks, the Premier Fruit Sock yarn in orange. And then we have, what I have, oh no, Diamond. You had said you are working on your first sock, but I don't have a picture of it. But I'm going to talk about Diamond anyway, because she is plugging away on her first sock. She's doing toe up in Olga Poltava pattern. Fantastic. I love that you're doing this. She said she had some struggles, but Olga had helped her get the rounds correct. So that is wonderful. I love it. I cannot wait to see what I hope you share a picture. She did mention on Facebook, she asked, when does it start to actually look like a sock? To me, when I'm making socks, it always feels like a sock after I hit the heel turn and start the gusset, because otherwise it's just a tube. Whether or not you're starting from the toe or the cuff, I prefer cuff down, but I've done toe up. Frankly, when you go, if you're going toe up, it kind of, well, definitely if you're going cuff down, it just looks like a fingerless mitt or something until you add the heel. Toe up, I guess it's just a thin tube, isn't it? A very small bag until you get to the part where it starts to turn, and then you're like, yes, I can see a foot forming. And then by the time you're done, you got an itty bitty foot. Well, it depends on who you're making it for. A child, you've got an itty bitty foot. It's adorable. I love you. I am very proud of you, Diamond, and everyone who is attempting socks. It is the small yarn. It's a lot of stitches, whether you knit or crochet, and it's a lot of work, but I think the joy in the final project makes it well worth it. Talking about the joy in the final product, I guess maybe I should be saying, I need to talk about Fridays with Fred, the actual day we're supposed to be doing. This book is Knitting the Neighborhood, the official knitting patterns of Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. I purchased this and I want to make all the patterns. You guys help me by voting, and then I go and make it. I force you. I don't vote. You don't have to watch these videos. But you watch me create it no matter how long it takes, and you guys are so supportive and wonderful. And when I finish a project, I take a little bit of a break, like that week, and then show off the final product. And then the next week we come together and we vote. And then the week after that, I share what the next project will be. I'm outlining this because I have finished knitting. That was a drum roll if you couldn't tell. I have finished knitting and sewing together the sweater. I did decide to put the shawl collar on, mostly because I was bored and I was looking at it and I was like, oh, just do it, Erin. Now, I do have the zipper. Here's my zipper. For this, you do need because it's a zipper cardigan, a separating zipper. I looked all around. I could not find one that I liked. I'm just going to show that it's separating. See? Separating. I just couldn't find one that I liked around here locally. So I went to Amazon. This one was, oh, come on. I got one of the heavy duty jacket ones with the metal zipper. Because of that, it's 26 inches long. Because of that, it was one of the more pricier ones. I forget if this was the $8.99, $9.99, or $12.99 one, but it was at least $9. Amazon Prime. I don't remember what brand or anything. It was not a known brand. It doesn't even have YKK printed on the zipper, which is funny. Which, that is not a brand. It's just, it somehow talks about the teeth. I don't know what it means, but there you go. So yeah, it's metal, it's brass, it's very heavy duty, very, very heavy. It is not attached because I do want to do a tutorial. Thank you to everyone who chimed in. I will do one side on the sewing machine, one side by hand. So you'll see it. Someone had mentioned they were worried about using a sewing machine because they thought you would be able to see the stitches. You can't. It like disappears and it gets all disguised in the yarn. You cannot tell that you've sewn it at all. But I'll show you when I get to it. But here we go. We have a completed full sweater. I'd put it on, but I was cleaning, so I'm wearing a really silly, stupid shirt, and I kind of don't want to show you. So, Vanity, thy name is Erin. But there you go. It is all together. I will say, I might have done one of the sleeves a little weird because it's got a little bit of a puff gather situation. I don't know how to fix it, and we're going to hope it just kind of settles in through wear and wash. We'll see. I feel like Mr. Rogers and Miss Nancy Rogers, I guess Mrs. Nancy Rogers, would approve. So anyway, it is... So I did try it on, and I could, when you put it on, it doesn't curl. It could be worn without a zipper. I do want the zipper, though. It's going to feel more Mr. Rogers. I know it's a whole part of his beginning. He zips up the sweater. So I feel like the zipper is iconic and must be there. Sewing on these shawl collars is so annoying. I'm sorry. First of all, it is knit 1 by 1 rib throughout. Annoying. Number 2, you have to knit it, and then you have to sew it on, and you sew on one end, and then you have to fold it over and sew on the other end, and that's the only way I figured out how to do it. I don't know. It's annoying, but well worth the result. So I shall whine and then love the result. So there you go. I should put a little tag there, made with love or something, but I haven't. I usually only put tags in the kids' clothes to try to help them determine which side is the, you know, the back and the front, or which side's the wrong side, so they don't wear their clothes inside out. Oh, yes! I get to claim 2 yarn bands from this. I did not claim the final 2 yarn bands. I did have to break slightly into my final skein to finish sewing up one of the side seam. And I think I used just maybe 2 yards. So maybe had I been a bit more conscientious about, you know, my tail when I started casting on, or the leftover yarn after I finished, I might have been able to have a full skein saved, but I barely used any out of that last one. Let's get this. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I'm not really saving my yarn bands anymore. I'm on a mission to declutter. Oh, if you follow my personal Facebook, actually I think I posted it. It might be cross-posting into the community group as well. I started doing a November decluttering effort. I don't know what to say. So each day of the month you're supposed to declutter the number of items for that day. So on the 1st you did 1, on the 2nd you did 2, on the 20th you do 20. I have not been posting pictures lately because instead I've been like tackling one area in the house and going through and completely cleaning it out. Like, we have a fireplace in our master bedroom. It's a gas fireplace with like one of those holes for the old TVs to go into. And it is just a collection area for things you don't know what to do with. I turned the TV hole into like a cat area because the dogs kept eating the cat food. So that's where the cat food is, and they've got a cat bed and all of that up there. But they drag stuff up there. I've told you about Pete the Stealer. So I had to clean all of that out, and then like random things Brian and I will shove. There's a little shelf, and you're supposed to have like the area to put like a VCR or whatever. So we shove stuff we don't know what to do with in there. So when I cleaned that out, it was like completely cleaned out. I got rid of all the clutter, dealt with all the weird stuff, you know, mail from 3 years ago we forgot about, shoved back there. And I start counting as I'm throwing things away. And once I get to that day of the week, I just kind of stop and I just finish the task. So I know in my heart I am keeping up with the challenge, but I'm not posting it on Facebook. So I don't know. But it's what you do. It's not all. Like, I wanted to post on Facebook to keep myself engaged with it. But I figure if I'm engaged with myself, does it really matter if people see I'm doing it on Facebook? It's not all performance. Anyway, so this is all to say clutter. I'm not keeping clutter around. So I'm getting rid of the yarn labels. But what I do want to do is use my kiddos' old potty training stuff that I found as part of a decluttering and make myself a goal chart. When I fill this goal chart, I will be able to make my very first websyarn.com yarn purchase. It was supposed to be 100. I messed up the grid. I thought it was 102, and then I didn't remember if I counted the final, and I'm too lazy to recount. So it's over 100 balls of yarn used. And the ball of yarn has to be completely used. It's very similar to the rules Sam Mantha's Makes uses, where if she, like I'm doing scrap projects. If I finish a scrap ball of yarn, it doesn't matter if I use the first half of the ball of yarn in 2015. If I finish it this year, it's going on the list. And it has to be I have to use as much as I possibly can. So like for my sock yarn, I've got that Battenberg blanket. And then when I don't have enough to do another Battenberg square, I have the granny square blanket that I'm doing. So I use literally every bit of that. I try to not throw it away unless it's not conceivably usable for any other project. And that's usually like, you got a little handful. It's probably 5 yards or less. But anyway, 2 more yarns closer to that. I do have others that I know I've used, but I haven't shared the pattern, and I've just left the yarn band stuck in the bag. Speaking of the Battenberg blanket, I have finished 3 of the hanks of yarn. And, no, yes, 3. I finished the blue and white, the sparkle yellow, and the dark green. I'm now working on a lighter green. I sent Brian a meme about Princess Leia. He was just responding. It was pretty funny. I love Star Wars memes. I love Star Wars. I've now lost my train of thought. What was I talking about? Anyway. So this isn't technically done yet. I'm hoping I can carve out time this weekend to do the tutorial, and I'll get it filmed, get the sweater done, and then next week I can hopefully model it, and I will be sure to not wear a ridiculous shirt. The ridiculous shirt is because of the cleaning, decluttering. I'm wearing my knock-around clothes and threw on the sweatshirt to keep warm. And to cover the silly shirt. I am blabbering. I love you all. I thank you so much, guys, for sharing your socks with us. Next week, I am going to be doing the Caron-orama update. So, if you have any Caron projects, then please share away. It does not, I'm doing the anniversary cakes. It doesn't have to be the anniversary cakes. If you're using latte cakes, if you're using baby cakes, if you're using lava cakes, frankly, if you're using 1-pounders or Simply Soft, I don't care. My idea is I have a lot of Caron yarn that for some reason I just hold on to and stare at because I think it's pretty and I need to use it. We are using our pretty yarns. I'm starting with Caron. I will likely do something like this for Lion Brand. maybe Premiere. I've got a lot of, Shannon has the same thing. I've got a lot of my Premiere packed away in storage. But Lion Brand, I've got a lot of Lion Brand out on the shelves. And frankly, probably Big Twist. Although the Big Twist, I've got a lot of value acrylic. And that I kind of want to hold on to for bits and bobs and stuff like that. Anyway, I'm blabbering. Caranorama next Thursday. I'll post about that probably Monday to say, hey, send me your pictures, please. And then after that, and just in case you're looking, so the 3 projects that had major updates: socks, Caranorama, Webs We Weave. So get thinking on Fiber Spider Works. That'll be in 3 weeks, and I'm kind of close. I don't know. I might finish another one. Well, when I say major update, I'm sure that's what you're thinking. I'm making good progress on my Sis Love shawl too. I'm very proud of how it looks. I don't know what the update's supposed to be after Fiber Spider. It might be Sis Love. Oh, it's kits. Why do I have the kits with Kitty still in the mix? That'll probably get changed. We don't need a double kit update. Yeah, that's weird. Although, maybe just doing kits one day makes sense coming up, so I have time to like post the tutorial. Okay, now I'm just spitballing, thinking out loud. This is not a place in Erin's head you guys necessarily care to be. So, I'm going to talk to you later. I love you all. I love you all, and I love all of your projects. You guys are so talented. You're amazing, and I love you. Okay, talk to you later. Bye-bye.